And now, live from Pod Cabin in Burbank, California, it's the Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend show. Tonight, Allison welcomes a guest. He's a producer who recently threw his own funeral where he learned that, actually, despite all evidence to the contrary, people might actually miss him. It's Greg Heller. She's a comedian who's known around these parts as the creator of the cutest babies anyone's ever seen. It's Jenna Kim Jones. He's a man who has such a passion for organization that the theme he chose for his baby son's bedroom is Microsoft Excel. It's #Al. He's a producer who's let it be known that he is almost ready for his turn to start dating Pete Davidson. It's Chef Jeff. Tone Zone is here to announce his new virtual reality universe, which will be exactly like the Zuckerberg metaverse, except you won't be allowed to have your avatar wear a robe. I'm her husband, Daniel, saying hop on board the Love Bus. Say hello to your best friend, Allison Rosen.
Allison Rosen. Allison Rosen is your new best friend. Allison, with her the good times never end. Allison Rosen, doing the wavy pencil dance again. Allison, Allison's your new best friend.
Hello, my little pikelets. Welcome to... Oh, no. Hello, my little... No, we're going to leave that in. Hello, my little pikelets. Welcome to another exciting episode of Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend. That particular carbohydrate, which was new to me, was sent in on Patreon. By Tyson Hellowell, which, first of all, what a cool name. And second of all, a pikelet is a tiny pancake. It's smaller than a pancake and it's fluffier than a pancake. And I believe it is popular in Australia and New Zealand. Maybe England, but I'm thinking Tyson Hellowell with a name as cool as that is probably from one of those places. We'll find out. Anyway, welcome to the show. As you may have gathered from that very long and very expert Daniel intro, there's a lot of people on this show, and I couldn't be happier. I am now going to go around and say hello to everyone. Hello, Al and Jenna.
Hello.
Hello, Greg Heller. Welcome back.
Hi, it's me, Greg.
Hello, Jeff.
Hey, Allison.
Hello, Daniel.
Hi.
And hello, Tony.
Hello.
Okay, so...
Is that everybody?
That's everybody. It's weird.
Wow.
Should I go get the kids? I'll wake them up.
I'll bring him in here.
Let's get them.
Daniel, can you write intros for all of Jenna and Al's kids real fast?
Okay. Yeah. I just do it real fast.
So, many years ago, when I lived in New York, I don't mention it often, but I did live in New York. I was a guest on, it was like the weirdest radio show. So it was around the time I did Red Eye, and this guy who was a publicist who was a fan of Red Eye was like, you got to come on this radio show. It tapes at 2 a.m. And I thought, that sounds late and inconvenient, but okay. It was in that phase of my career. But okay. And I got there, and it was like, this host who was very old, and then a room full. I want to say there was like 20 guests at one time. I was definitely the youngest. It was the weirdest experience, made even more weird by it being in the middle of the night. And then I remember there was a spread of like bagels and lox and salmon. Do you guys know who Professor Irwin Corey is?
Of course, yeah.
He was a guest that night. Greg, when would you say his heyday was?
I don't know anything about that guy. I just said it.
Oh, okay. I feel like he was popular when the Beats were popular. He would go on stage and bring a newspaper. He was a comedian who would go on stage and bring a newspaper.
Yes. Crazy hair.
Yes.
Got it. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Jenna.
Yep.
These other professional comedy fans have let me down. But anyway, he was there. But okay, so it was the weirdest experience. There was a lot of people there. And then I was reading later, I was reading this guy, AJ Jacobs' book, he's been on my podcast. And it was known as like the Jew Hour. And I hadn't put it together. Yes, there was bagels, lox, and cream cheese, but I didn't like put it together that the reason I had been invited on the show was because it was like the middle of the night Jew radio hour. That's beside the point though. The entire point of this was seeing this many little boxes on Zoom. Although if you're listening at home, we're definitely all together in person. It reminding me of that show because there were so many people, except I am delighted to be here and I was very tired and thought that was weird. Anyway, let's get into it.
Wow.
That was a journey, that one.
Wow.
No.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I needed a Boda bag to keep hydrated during the journey of that story. Quite a story.
So, I don't even know where to start. Greg, you have a baby.
That's correct.
Who
You can,
threw-
if you listen very carefully, you can hear that baby being very agitated behind me.
Yes.
Yes.
I woke up to a text this morning saying you were just going to warn me that your baby was throwing up.
That's correct. Yeah. I wasn't going to warn you before he was throwing up, but I was just going to warn you that he is, in fact, actively barfing. Yeah. He threw up on in my wife's hair this morning. And life lesson, it's not that funny when a baby throws up in your wife's hair to your wife.
Did you think that was funny?
I thought it was very funny to me, yes, but I should not have laughed as hard as I did.
Who was the second person he threw up on?
Nada, the nanny, he threw up on the nanny as well.
So you dodged the barf.
I did not get thrown up on. Yeah, I did have to wipe up quite a bit of barf today. He's not even like throw up sick. He's just so pissed off about something that he made himself throw up. I hate babies. That's it. That's so true.
Did he hear a band that you? Did he hear a band that you hate? Is that why he threw up?
He just keeps listening to this monkey song dance thing. Oh, I'm trying so hard to get him into adult music, but alas, he loves the monkey dance. But then we took him to the doctor, and they said he might have a hand and mouth disease or something.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Hand,
yeah.
foot, mouth, yeah.
Hand, foot, mouth. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wait, Jenna.
And,
go ahead.
but he doesn't. I don't think. I don't know. His hands and feet seem fine to me. So does his mouth.
And that's where their mouth turns into a foot.
But I don't know. Jenna, what is hand, foot, mouth?
Gets stuck in there, right? No, I'm just kidding.
It's just like a weird, kind of nasty virus rash, sort of throw-uppy, nasty situation. Adults can get it, though, so buckle up.
I got it in high school, and it was surprising that a
In high school? Were you dating a 4-month-old?
It was very unusual that I got it in high school. I don't know. All I know is my friends and I. It was one of my first dates. I was invited by this guy. Have I talked about when we went to the contaminated beach on a date? Have I ever told this story?
I'm so into this story.
No.
I'll make it
extremely quiet, and Allison's going to tell this.
Hang on for 1 second. Hey, Tony, do you want to carpool to the vasectomy clinic with me? save on gas.
Okay, so you're at the contamination
smart, yeah.
beach with a 6-month-old. And then what happens?
No, there was no there were no children. I'll make this faster than that other story, and I'll try to make it better too. I was invited on a date. I didn't want to go with this guy alone, so I brought my friends, and I took us all down. So it was like 3 guys, 3 gals. We all went to a contaminated beach. I didn't realize it was contaminated at the time. And then my friend Holly came down with it first, and then I got it. And then my mom and my sister got it. It's called the Coxsackie virus, and it is very uncomfortable.
This is the plot of Toxic Avenger, isn't it?
And did you get it because the beach was polluted?
Well, in my mind, the contaminated beach and us all getting this virus are linked, but I don't actually know if that is how it spread. But
My guess is your proximity to someone who also had this virus is probably the culprit.
But I
The
think it was
it's-
contaminated with like human waste.
Ooh, well, it's spread by direct contact with saliva or mucus.
Wait, how did I get it then?
This beach
heck of a
must have
first
just been
date.
flooded with mucus.
It was so
What's it-
slippery. I just thought it was the tide.
That was not a jellyfish.
For real, how did I get it?
Yeah, I don't know.
And I don't know. Maybe you should tell us that.
One of the symptoms is irritability, loss of appetite, fever, sore throat, feeling unwell, and you usually get a nasty rash all over your hands, foot, and mouth.
Yes, I had I had a high fever. I had the worst sore throat I've ever had, and then I had these sores on my hands. I don't remember if they were on my feet, but I remember purchasing, or I didn't. My parents bought me lanolin, straight from a sheep, and I was putting that on, and it was very uncomfortable. So wait, have your kids had it, Jenna and Al?
No,
I
I've
don't think so.
heard the horrors of it, though, and I've heard if you get it when you're older, it's actually much worse. So you probably had a really bad case of it as well.
It was really bad. I
Yeah.
remember my friend Trevor, who I've probably talked about on this show and who's actually been on a few early episodes. He was flying out to stay with us, and I was so sick that he mostly just hung out with my dad and my mom the whole time.
Yeah,
So he
that
basically
makes
came out
sense.
to have a fun visit with my parents while I just sat in the bathroom in pain.
This was Coxsackie.
Coxsackie, it's such a weird name, right?
See, I've heard of I've known a few people who've gone to the beach and come back with hacky sacky disease.
That one's rough.
Hacky sacky.
Yeah.
Everyone, hacky.
Hacky sacky. Yes, I know. You can get it on the quad at my liberal arts school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's deadly.
Okay, so let's just jump into something pretty controversial. Again, I don't want people to think of my show as a show that you go on and then you get canceled for your takes being so hot. I don't want people to be worried like, oh, she snares us in with making us feel like it's just going to be a fun time, and then she gets us to say things that everyone, gets angry about. But this could be controversial. We're going to do my signature segment, Yes Please or Oh Please. And I don't want to hear diplomacy. I don't want to hear...
Many people have been canceled after this.
Yeah. It's like...
Never to be heard from.
Did you
That's
get
how they
me
got Fatty
too?
Arbuckle.
Or did you get yes pleased? So I'm not looking for diplomacy. I want to hear your off the cuff opinions, and I just hope it doesn't bite you in the ass.
Okay.
Tony,
Yes, please, give me some of that. Oh, please, that's much crap.
okay. Last night, as we record this, last night was Halloween. How does everyone feel about Krackel?
The candy?
The candy.
The candy bar.
Yes, please.
Not the stream.
And also not the Rice Krispies character.
He's my least favorite of the three.
It's all about who you know, and I know Krackel. It's a Mitch Hedberg reference for anyone who happens to listen.
I got you. I got you.
Al, you were going to say about Krackel?
Yes, please. Crackles are awesome.
Yeah. It's
It's a gateway. It's a gateway candy bar.
To what, though?
It leads you to everything else. You go, oh, now I'm just like putting stuff in. It's Mr. Good Bar. Let's jam it with peanut butter.
Yeah. 100 grand. Eventually you get
There you
there.
go. You get into the 100 grand. Yeah.
You start with the
You
rice.
have to start at the bottom. You
Yeah,
work your way
yeah.
into 100 grand.
Exactly.
Isn't there a type of candy bar where the exterior is a Krackel and then it has like nougat or caramel on the inside?
Yes,
You're-
what
you're
is
thinking of
that?
That's the 100 grand.
That's what 100 grand is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I love the. I don't know who's anti Krackel. We even we get like some fancy Erewhon Krackel now. It's like a Krackel bar, but it's $7. But it's basically the same idea of just chocolate with little puffy rice stuff in it.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a Crackle bar, like a full-size Crackle? I've only ever seen them as minis.
Yeah, I don't
They're very odd
That's
looking at full size. They look like they came from the 80s. Like the
Yeah.
Crackle packaging, they've never changed it. It's like you see it and you think that candy bar is 30 years old.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so true. Crackle exists only in miniature. That's so true. Like,
I can envision it being sold at the pharmacy in the bottom of the building where my dad had his office, which was in the 80s.
right, Jenna,
We can all
Jenna,
picture that.
I don't know why, but I default to you as you are a candy expert. Would you agree
I'm
with that?
a connoisseur. Yeah.
Jenna, is there any appreciable difference between Crunch and Crackle?
Oh.
Definitely.
I would
There is?
say that, well, it depends on what size of candy bar you're eating. Like if you're eating a fun size Crunch bar, I like that better than the small Crackle bar.
You're out of your mind.
Yes, I'm sorry.
I feel
loved,
like I'm with Al on this.
I loved Jenna. I loved our Professor Erwin Corey moment earlier, but you're wrong because Daniel and I did a taste test last night. I would have thought that I would have liked Crunch better, but I preferred Crackle. But wait, before we get into that,
Because you think that the market has
Or right now.
let the Crunch bar rise to the top. They're so much more common.
Well, that's possible. I have not done a side-by-side taste test of the two candy bars, maybe ever. So I'm open for debate.
Tony, Jeff,
That's what I like about you, Jenna.
where are you guys with Yes Please or Oh Please?
I say yes, please. I haven't eaten a Krackel bar in a long time, but back in the day, I liked them very much. Although now that we're talking about them, I can't say what it is that's inside them.
Rice.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was at too until we started comparing it to
It's chocolate
Crunch.
with puffed rice inside.
Oh, it's puffed rice?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. I like it.
Yes, please.
Yes.
By the way, you guys, the Crunch was introduced in 1928, and it took Hershey's a decade to copy it with the Krackel, which is crazy. In the original formula. Where does that come from?
Jackie Johnson.
Anyway, I'm just pointing out. I just bet you guys would want to know some history about it.
I wonder, thank you. And I
You're
wonder if Crunch was like, we had 10 great years. But then someone who works there is like, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. So
They'll never catch us.
Daniel, where are you? I think I know you're a yes. I think it's yes, please, across the board.
I've always liked Krackel. I never realized I liked Krackel more than Crunch until we did the taste test. The Crunch was surprisingly flavorless relative to the Krackel.
It depends. Yes. It depends on the Crunch. Can I just say that there are variations? If you get the small one that's thicker, it's more delicious. If you have the skinny one, it's no good. If you have Bunch of Crunch, it's a magical, wonderful experience.
Bunch of Crunch is completely different.
What is that?
Bunch of Crunch.
Bunch of Crunch.
Forget about it. You'll forget Krackel even existed once you have Bunch of Crunch.
That's true.
It's like I don't even know how to
Imagine just
describe
chocolate
it.
covered rice puffs they're like Raisinets. You pour them in. You eat them at the movies.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
a bunch of?
It's
Is
like
it like
Bunch
little
of Crunch? It's a Bunch of Crunch.
Oh.
Yeah.
No wonder
It's
they
like little
named
baby
it that.
ones.
Like
And you just
little-
eat them.
I can't even describe it. I don't know how they
It's
make
like
them.
Raisinets, but it's the rice inside.
No
Do they
raisins.
come in like a bucket?
Stop saying raisins.
But they're
You're
tiny
not
like
selling
'em.
it.
Tiny like them.
It sounds like a frozen yogurt topping.
It could be.
Yes.
Could be.
You pour them in the popcorn.
Can I say a couple things here? Both Hershey and Nestle, they both have this thing where sometimes you open one and the chocolate is turned white
Yes.
as they get old. This
Yes.
is real disgusting.
Yes.
Does anyone know how this happens or why this happens?
Isn't it like oxidation or something?
Yes. Yeah, that's why.
I don't know. But I want to say one other thing too. I want to read you guys the most exciting sentence on the Wikipedia website. Here it is. Introduced in 1938, Krackel used to have almonds until peanuts were added to the recipe in 1939, but both the almonds and peanuts were removed in 1941 to be replaced with the new crisp rice balls that measure approximately 2 millimeters.
So essentially, it was a Mr. Good bar.
Right.
Yeah.
It began life as a Mr. Good bar, yeah.
I actually have a hot take. I'm sorry. I set this up to be controversial, and then I said something that I'm discovering wasn't controversial. Sort of like on Jeopardy. Occasionally they'll have a Final Jeopardy where like everyone gets it and it's so easy. And I always imagine whoever wrote that question was like, oh, I guess we gauged that one wrong. Anyway, what happened was I ate a Krackel last night, and I said to Daniel, Krackel is quietly one of the better candies. And he's like, quietly, not quietly. And his theory was that everyone loves a Krackel. And I feel like Krackel is often overlooked.
I feel like in my years working in an office, every now and then somewhat enterprising young or usually not young person will come in with those minis, and the Krackels are always first to go.
Correct.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I
for
feel like
sure.
they stand out in the group too in terms of the minis. It's like, well, there's the Krackel, and then there'll be a basic Hershey bar, which is fine. But I feel like they're
Yeah.
they're in a good group there.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that sort of raises the question of which is the last cookie left over in the circus of cookies? You know that thing?
Wait, that round thing?
No, Jenna, what's this thing called? The circus of cookies.
Wait,
It's like
what?
the yogurt horses and the chocolate chip one and the. You guys know what the fuck I'm talking about?
Is it
Does anyone here
Mothers?
know what- Are they mothers? Yeah, they're mothers.
Oh.
Mothers. It's so funny. I did that last night when we were trick or treating. I literally was like, "Which one do I want? Which one do I want?"
Oh, yes. Yes. Okay. The cookie parade. Yes.
Cookie parade. Thank
Yes.
you, Jenna. I
Got
was
it.
the circus of cookies.
Yes.
I
Okay.
confused, but it is the cookie
Circus
parade.
of cookies. Cookie parade was the Nestle one.
Okay, so here are the cookies in the cookie parade. They are.
Okay.
They are. Oh my God, my kid is freaking out so hard, but who cares?
Oh, no.
Okay, here we go.
I hate babies.
The yogurt one, right? Yogurt. They look like llamas, yogurt llamas.
They're so
The
good.
Yeah.
Obsessed
The
with
chocolate
them.
chip one,
Yep.
and then the like chocolate thing that's like
Hydrox,
kind of an
yeah.
Oreo, but a little bit smushier.
Mhm.
Yep.
And I would actually argue that that's the best of them, and that the yogurt horses should be last.
Interesting. I can't remember.
Canceled.
I can't remember what the other ones taste like. I can only think of what the pink frosted
Yeah.
ones.
That's the
taste
one
like.
that Greg is calling the yogurt one. By the
Yes,
way,
yeah.
I looked up Cookie Parade, and like the first 400 results were Cookie Carnival, which is a children's book. Okay, Greg, could you just please? By the way, someone has to play Snack Chat, or I'll simply burst. Greg, could you describe?
Snack Chat.
Thank you. Could you describe all the floats in this parade again? Because I was distracted.
Yeah. Oh no, there's 4 floats. I left one of the floats out. Okay. So there's the yogurt.
I think it's
like
frosting.
a camel.
They
almost.
call it
It's
like a
some sort of-
frosted animal cracker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of a dromedary, perhaps.
Yes.
There's regular chocolate chip. There's like the little Oreo chocolate thing. And then there's sugar cookies, just straight sugar
Yeah.
cookies. And those ones are really good.
I think that's probably the best.
And the cookie parade is interesting because it's sort of like, you know, when you're eating really good Mexican or Chinese food and you can take like the guacamole and put it on the chip and then put some of the meat on it. Like if you start combining these things, they actually get better. But I think, Jenna, the yogurt is the outlier. I think it's
4 avocados.
it's the worst. I think it's the worst of the 4.
I would pass this entire bag.
Al, yeah,
looks
he
good
would
on it.
never eat it. I don't know because I grew up mostly on the frosted animal cracker, so I don't
It's like
know.
a solo bag.
As a solo bag, yeah. So I can't really expertly address this. I feel like I don't have the knowledge.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
When I was
Thank you for recusing yourself.
When I was a kid, I thought Mother's iced oatmeal cookies were like the best cookie ever. And I have tasted them as an adult, and I don't know if like certain movies they haven't held up or if I have grown up, but they're not that good anymore.
Agreed.
They were never that good. They were never that good.
Those are good.
I don't know.
They have a weird mouthfeel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A weird mouthfeel. Can I bring up like a scorching hot Halloween topic?
Yes.
Judging things I don't know about. The Greg Heller story.
Okay, so last night we Jenna and Al, just so you know, so everyone's caught up. Al and I moved out of Venice.
Oh.
We live in
Oh.
like a much more
What?
Yeah, it turns out like we at some point we just got sick of getting robbed all the time.
Fair
And
enough.
thank you, Tony. And we thank you,
I think it's
Tony.
Jeff.
And we live on like a much more placid street now that's very Halloweeny. And last night at like 7:00, 4 kids came up to trick or treat and they like cleaned out our cookie bowl. I mean our candy bowl.
Yeah.
And then I turned around and I all went, you have to tell them one each.
Yeah.
And I said, no, that's their parents' job. And she said, no, it's the candy giver's job. And we had this discussion about it. And today I ran this by several friends and they all said it's the candy giver's job. But in my opinion, the default amount of candy you take is 1.
Yes.
Yes.
If the giver
Yeah.
says you can have more, then you can have more. But a lot of parents I spoke to today said the kids are so out of control on Halloween that they'll take as many as they can take unless you stop them. It is the onus is on the candy giver. I open the floor for discussion.
Ooh.
Now, were parents with these kids when they came to the door?
They stood at the base of our driveway and basically said, kids, you're on your own. It's up to these shithead adults to determine how many candies you return with. I'm telling you, each one of the kids took a handful of candies.
Yeah, they will
Yeah.
if you let them. But Al and I had this talk today as well.
I think I said it in the car like a really old man. Like, I'm really worried about this next generation. They're just taking all the
Well,
candy.
because last year we we're tired of answering the door, so we left a bowl on our front porch, and we have a Ring doorbell so we can see what's going on. And we watched kids dump the whole bowl into their bags, which we knew was a possibility when we got tired of answering the door and left the bowl on the front porch. But it still bothered me because I do. Well, go ahead, Al. You're the old man on this one.
Come on. This is what makes America a wonderful place. We have rules. We have self-control.
That is what makes America so wonderful, our rules.
We have self-control. We're ethical. We're like good people. What are we doing here?
But Al, one of the friends I brought this up to today said, like, you're applying adult logic to a 4-year-old.
How old were these kids who cleaned you out?
I would say these Optimi Prime were like between the ages of 4 and 6.
Oh, that's pretty young.
But you can still teach a kid to only have one.
No. Our girls, I walked them around. They each took one piece, and then someone said, you can take more, and then they would take more. Because I coached them. I helped them know.
Yeah.
I think if you don't put a sign out, if it's little candies, expect them to take 2 or 3. The expectation is they could take 2 or 3. If they're bigger candies, 1. And it's not on the person. If you want them to take just 1, you have to say just 1. But more than 3.
I disagree. The default is 1, Daniel. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Not if they're little candies, though. Like if you have like little jawbreakers or like little sour balls or something, 1 is like they're going to take a few.
But if you're giving out jawbreakers, just don't.
Well, don't do that. Right. But
Crackles or
there
nothing.
There is that.
Crackles are better.
There is that point where it's like a full fistful or more, where that's not on the homeowner to establish that. That is just ridiculous.
The number of kids that are out on Halloween for the purpose of exercising self-control is 0. It's like they're all out to lose their mind and get as much candy as possible and eat as much candy as possible. I think that's a given. The question is that Greg is putting to us is whose responsibility is it to oversee that lack of impulse control?
Greg,
you could put a bowl out that says take just 1 and they're still going to take more.
I have a question,
it's on
Greg.
the kids.
Please.
When these kids looted
Listen, I want to be
candy.
clear about something. I want to be clear about something for everyone here. When these kids left our house, the bowl of candy had 0 candy in it.
Yes.
The last kid in this group took these are double-fisted kids, and I watched them do it, and I was looking at their parents, and I wanted to be like, your kids just each of them took the amount of candy we have for the rest of them. I went to CVS after this.
Oh, wow.
And I reloaded on peppermint patties, which was all they had left.
Before Allison starts, I just want to say.
And then they just took 1. It was weird after that.
Yeah.
By the way, I love peppermint patties. I'm sorry. Daniel, go ahead.
I would say before Allison starts, Greg's experience to me, that's the America I know. But go ahead, Allison.
Okay. I have some questions. Greg, were you holding the bowl or was the bowl set out?
I was holding the bowl. That's correct.
And what were you I'm not blaming you, but what were you doing while they
Honestly, do you know what I was doing? First of all, I want to say something. I'd like to. Can I just add a little bit of backstory to this?
Yes.
There's some context.
Yes.
I feel like let's just step back and just give it a second.
Do you want to let it breathe?
No, it's fine. Okay. So
I'm sorry, I don't feel like having a conversation right now.
I've lived in a house for 12 years in Venice with not one trick-or-treater. So I do want to contextualize by saying I'm not the most experienced candy giver.
Was it a bowl of 12 candies?
No. It was this bowl was abundance. This was a cornucopia of candies.
That's the America I know.
Right. It's the land of the plenty, or it is the land of regulations as well. And I was looking down at the bowl. Oh, it was very cinematic. Like I saw the bowl in a shot where all these hands were grabbing all this candy. And in my mind, I was like, this is crazy. All the candy's going to be gone. And then I looked up and they all at once kind of said, thank you. And then they ran away.
Wait, did you have a special candy bowl cam?
I did not. I wish I had. But I was sort of looking at their parents. And then another batch of kids ran up right behind them. And I was like, I don't have any more candy. And one of the moms looked at me and went, that's okay. That's okay. But clearly it was not okay.
Oh, no.
And they walked their kids away. And so in my brain, I was like, parents, that's crazy. You just let your kids do that. And I turned around to Ayala and she immediately said, you have to tell them one each or that's going to happen. So, and in my brain, I was like, that's bad parenting because I'm going to raise a son who knows that one is the default.
So in my day, our day, one was the default. Like, I actually can't imagine doing that. However, I think with you, this is going to be an unsatisfying answer from me, but we still have Tony to hear from. I think if you're watching them grab fistfuls and you don't say something, they're going to assume it's okay because that's just kids. And also,
I don't know,
pets and
like,
humans.
But also,
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know. I think you assume the worst in people.
I think this is bad parenting. And when we were watching like Owen, who's 2, go up, and there were a lot of houses that had the bowls out with no signs, and he would go up and just take one. Elliot would just take 1 or 2. We didn't have to say that. I think it doesn't make sense that the person who has a bowl of candy wants you to dump the bowl into your bag. That is clearly an antisocial behavior.
Some people would, like, the person doling out the candy would just place it in the bag.
See, that's what I did last night. I held the bowl and grabbed the candy and put it in. So then I'm the one deciding the situation. But I do agree that we would never let our kids do that. The grabbing. I would be horrified.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm offended. I'm kind of like annoyed and offended by it too. I guess I think it'd be better if the parents were on top of it, but for efficiency's sake, I sort of agree with Ayala that you got to say something or put out like a little sign.
I'd like to hear from Tony.
Tony.
I'm not going to have a very good answer because I'm similar to you, Greg. I've lived in this place for 5 years. I've never gotten a single trick-or-treater. I'm up on a big, like, steep hill, so no kids come up here. And then previous places, I didn't really get them either. So I have very little experience.
But ethical compass.
Right. I can see a little bit of both sides, but my gut goes more with I agree that I think it's a little more on the parents, I think.
Yes,
like, get ahead of the game and kind of, like, say, all right, when you get up there.
Yeah.
I was on them to say thank you and stuff. I think that's part of the deal with the parent. Like if, you know, by the way, our neighborhood shit the bed this year for Halloween. Like we didn't go trick-or-treating last year.
Way?
Literally.
Is there?
2 years ago we went trick-or-treating here and it was like pretty good. Like most of the houses, you know, had candy. This year maybe 40% of the houses, if that, had candy, and of those, maybe half of them.
It was better in the middle of the pandemic. It was better.
No, he's saying 2 years ago. So
2 years ago.
Pre-pandemic.
And I'm just wondering, are people? I mean, I'm sure it's different, like in other parts of the country, but like, are people here still skittish about COVID and not doing trick or treating?
It was surprising to me because when we went the Halloween before the pandemic. I was like, oh man, this is a great Halloween neighborhood. It's very festive and lots of kids everywhere. And then it was like really pretty dead last night.
Yeah.
But better candy. 2 years ago, it was like 100% just now and laters. So it was better candy this year, but fewer people and not a very fun vibe. Weird. What about where you guys are?
I think it was pretty fun here. I think there's a lot of people out. But I think just in general, the vibe in general is don't go out. Like everybody's still skittish. Everybody's skittish.
It's still skittish. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Like we are very skittish. We don't do anything. But my sense has been, maybe because I'm comparing myself to fun guy Tony Thaxton, my sense has been that's just us. And most people are actually at this point out living their lives. But no, apparently not.
I know. My Instagram feed is nothing but Tony out partying, just shoulder to shoulder with people. So I figure that's how it is.
I'm Tony. I'm in Chicago now. I'm Tony. Yeah. I'm in a club with low ceilings. I'm Tony. I forget your other
people
stuff.
People
demand
me places. You know, I got to give the people what they want.
I Thaxton demand. Pandemic be damned.
Okay, I have another parenting question. For anyone who just tuned in, I just want you to know this is not a parenting podcast. I do another parenting podcast. There's just some parenting content bleed into this one. But first, I need to tell you guys about Storyworth. Now, this story of Greg's about the kids who came to your door, who took all your candy. That's a story you're going to want to remember and preserve and pass down for generations. And the way you should do that is Storyworth. Storyworth is it makes such a good gift. This holiday season, I want to give a gift to my loved ones that makes them feel special and unique, just like the relationship we share. That's why I'm giving everyone I care about Storyworth. So what it is you sign up for Storyworth, you give it to someone you love whose stories you want to remember, and they receive story prompts, and then they respond to the prompts either on email or they can call in their answer. And then at the end of a year, Storyworth collects all the stories, puts them into a hardbound book, and it makes a wonderful gift, a wonderful keepsake. I thought I had heard every single one of my dad's stories multiple times. I gave him Storyworth. I found out stuff about him I never knew, and I'm so excited to be able to have this book and to give it to my kids. It just makes a really great gift. With Storyworth, I am giving those I love most a thoughtful personal gift from the heart and preserving their memories and stories for years to come. Go to storyworth.com/bestfriend and save $10 on your first purchase. That's storyworth.com/bestfriend to save $10 on your first purchase. I also want to tell you guys about Apostrophe Skincare. We've all had struggles with our skin, and that's why we are excited to partner with Apostrophe, the sponsor of this episode. Apostrophe is a prescription skincare company that offers science-backed oral and topical medications that are clinically proven to help clear acne. It's not just acne that they deal with, though. They also can help you hit other skincare goals like reducing redness, wrinkles, and even dark spots. It's super easy. They connect you with a board-certified dermatologist who creates a personalized treatment plan that is perfectly tailored to your unique skin. And so you fill out a thing online saying what your skincare concerns are. You take 3 pictures, you upload it, you get an email back saying that they have come up with a treatment plan for you. I wanted to do Retin A. I'd heard it's like a miracle for aging skin, which is weird because I'm so young, but I have been using the generic. It's called tretinoin. I've been using it. And I am glowing, you guys. And then also I wanted to fade some dark spots. And I was looking at a picture I took of myself recently, and the dark spots are gone. It's pretty miraculous, and it's so easy. My dermatologist's name is Maggie. I call her Dr. So-and-so, her real name, but I just, we're on a basis where I know her name is Maggie. We have a special deal for our audience. Save $15 off your first visit with an Apostrophe provider at apostrophe.com/bestfriend. when you use our code BESTFRIEND. This code is only available to our listeners. To get started, just go to apostrophe.com/bestfriend and click begin visit. Then use our code BESTFRIEND at sign up and you'll get your first visit for only $5. That's apostrophe, apostrophe.com/bestfriend and use that code BESTFRIEND to get your dermatologist crafted treatment plan for $5. And we thank Apostrophe for sponsoring the podcast. Okay, Greg, did you have something to say?
No.
All right. So here's my question.
I like men who look young and are hairless.
Hell yeah.
And nubile. Just nubile is the best word.
That's how my skin looks. It's nubile.
Wait, I did have something to say.
Yes.
I'm thinking about my mom and being inside of her.
Oh my God.
I had something else I wanted to say.
Check the turt.
Yeah. And sometimes I just feel like,
it's horrible what you did to that fish.
have you ever heard the term melasma?
Yes.
I don't understand.
Yes.
I know what a melasma is now.
I thought that melasma is what I had. Melasma is darkening on your skin from pregnancy hormones and the sun. But then a dermatologist I went to before I switched to Apostrophe said, no, that's just skin.
That's where you diagnosed as having skin. You're like, something tells me this is skin. You can't see my skull here in this one place. What do you think?
A clinical epidermis. Yeah, no, she's like, that's just sun damage. But wait, does Ayala have melasma?
Absolutely not.
Does she think she does?
Absolutely not. It's like, her skin is perfect. She looks beautiful.
And if she did, he wouldn't say.
That's good.
Put that skin in my mouth.
And barfing her hair only makes her skin glow that much more.
Are you still using her expensive shower products?
Drunk elephant? I am. Yes, they're great.
Daniel,
it turns out there's some stuff that I know is bullshit. Like shampoo, I don't know. To me, shampoo is shampoo. I'm unable to distinguish between any shampoos for the purposes of washing your hair anyway. But
what else are you doing with shampoo? I think I know.
But face and hand stuff, sometimes the more expensive stuff is better. That has been my experience.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
And like Eucerin, which I think is way more expensive than like Lubriderm or whatever, is way better. Is infinitely better in terms of its emollients. This is good.
Eucerin is lotion, right? Al has the best lotion.
I think I use Utterly Smooth.
Utterly Smooth.
UDDERLY.
No,
yes.
It's a pun.
And
does it come in a bottle that looks like a cow?
Yes,
it
does.
Or like a little white tube.
Yeah, and it has the cow spots on it.
Yeah.
I used that years ago.
It's amazing.
It's pretty good. I don't love that.
Stuff is good.
I don't love the scent.
Or there's Bag Balm.
I don't like
crazy
Bag Balm.
oily. It's terrible. Yeah.
That's quite emollient.
Yeah, no thanks. No thanks. Can I just say one thing about Halloween candy? It's going to bug me the whole episode if I don't get it out.
Please.
What is it about?
Halloween candy.
Yes.
And then we can go on to your parenting thing.
No
but
need.
I just have to say, I ate a crunch that was shaped like an eyeball this year.
Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing. And two.
You know who would agree with you?
What?
Owen.
There you go.
Owen was obsessed with those. Remember, honey?
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Those little eyeball crunch chocolates.
Eyeball.
Sounds just like Jenna.
This one was a large eyeball, actually.
Oh, we only had small balls.
And you tasted it, and it was
for
good.
yourself.
Yeah, I love it.
And second, the Butterfinger is no longer delicious. It'll never be good ever again. They changed the recipe, and it's garbage.
What?
They did?
Is that true?
Yes,
yeah,
it's true.
They changed the recipe, and it is so disgusting.
You'll be very disappointed.
They wanted it to be more all natural or something. I don't know.
What?
That's not what people go to Butterfingers for.
Exactly.
I don't want that.
So last night I was doing so well with I'm not having candy. I'm just not. We're going to go trick or treat with the kids. I'm going to come home. I'm going to have a salad with egg whites and I'm going to feel good about myself. And then I had a couple Krackels. And then I was like, well, fuck it. And then I just went on a tear.
I looked over at the pantry and there's just a flurry of wrappers just flying out of the door.
Daniel actually came over to me and he said, honey.
I had to stop her. There was a momentum building. And I had to I was like, Jesus Christ.
He said,
I got to hop in this car and hit the emergency brake.
And by the way, this is advanced marriage because I think it's taken you years to feel comfortable saving me from myself. But I just see the doorway.
What's going on in here?
The doorway of the pantry darkening, and I hear, honey, is this what you want to be doing?
No delicate
Yikes.
Daniel,
that is advanced marriage. That's like year 10 shit right there.
I think we are year 10, yeah.
Yeah, that's advanced marriage.
Daniel, do you remember when I asked you if you see me get up in the middle of the night and go to the kitchen, ask me a math question to determine whether I'm awake or not? I'm Nibbles.
I've found, but didn't we do that and you would nail it? Turns out Nibbles is good at math. So that didn't work.
Whoa. Yeah. So anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So I ate one of those the whatever the smallest Butterfingers is, the fun size, bite size, mini size, I don't know. It's just a little square. But Jenna, I'm sorry. I thought it was good.
No. It's because you haven't had a Butterfinger in a long time. I promise you.
It was better.
I went from loving Butterfingers, and then the next year it said new and improved. I ate one and I was like, it's ruined.
What's
and then
different
I've seen other people on the internet rant about it as well.
The texture is off.
It's not as you know how it would get stuck in your teeth? It was all crazy. And then it's not as sweet because I think they have less sugar in it.
Is a little. What I noticed was, this is a little bit like creamier and peanut butterier than before.
Yep, it's not that like fake weird texture. It's more natural, and I don't like it. And I'm offended by it, and I don't know why we change things.
This is
How dare you?
Skittles all over again.
I know, but lime Skittles are back. So
they are?
Everything's fine.
We beat Big Skittles.
We won. They ditched green apple, and they are now rolling out lime, and they said they will never do it again. It was a huge mistake, and they're very sorry.
God, I didn't.
Jesus,
I didn't get the alert. Yeah. The all-point bulletin.
Did. Every
I feel like they said it just
person who knows me sent it to me.
Okay, so
that email was sent out like to Jenna, CC, everyone else.
Okay, so here is my question. So Elliot is in a little like music drama class, and they're putting on a little show, and I can't wait. And he was, it's just a few kids in this class, and he was super duper into the class. And then all of a sudden his feeling about it changed. And I asked why, and he said he didn't want to go, and I asked why he didn't want to go. And he said because they have to carry a chair onto the stage, and it's too hard for him. He struggles with carrying the chair onto the stage. And I said, why don't you mention it to your teacher? And he didn't want to do that. And then he was sick, so he missed a class. And now the question is, do I say something to her, or do I leave this up to him? Full disclosure, I already said to him, because he's like, he won't say something to her. And I said to him, do you want me to say something to her? Like but I feel like the better thing would be to have him talk to her, because I don't want to be a parent who's like, I don't want to be like there's like it's not helicopter parent, it's like a lawnmower parent who like moves all the obstacles out of the way of the kid.
Honey,
it's a slippery slope.
This is not a big deal. Like, if
that's not what a lawnmower does.
Have I been mowing wrong?
That's not one of the functions of a lawnmower, right? Wouldn't
it be a bulldozer
there's a bunch
parent?
of old garbage on our yard. Someone get a lawnmower over here. I think a lawnmower does exactly as it's described. I think. I don't know.
Mows a lawn.
Yeah,
I think you're right. Well, a cow pusher parent, like a train has a cow pusher, you know?
Yes,
I don't want to be a cow pusher parent.
I don't think this is a big deal. Like, I feel like don't say anything and let him handle it.
But he doesn't like the class anymore.
Well, but I think these things change from week to week. He probably had an experience where he struggled with it and he didn't like it that week. And then the next week, because these aren't big chairs we're talking about, like little chairs. The next week they may not have to move a chair, or he might find that it's easier, or
the sense
it just might not bother him.
I think perhaps part of the show they're putting on involves carrying a chair. I don't know.
Well,
there's a chair dance.
No. But like, what is it that you would? Okay, so you tell the teacher, then what? The teacher
thinks
the
I'm
teacher
the
starts
chair
treating
for
your
him?
kid like shit because he's the kid who weeps about having to move a chair. Yeah,
he can move a chair. He's fine.
Yeah, he's the kid that narked to his parents.
Spoken like a dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Spoken like a dad.
Jenna, what do you think?
It's fine. I think that I probably wouldn't say anything unless it really truly over and over and over again became a problem. But I do agree he will probably be able to figure out the chair situation. If he struggles with it a lot, the teacher will probably pick up on it.
That's true.
And
I've seen him move chairs. He's fine. He can move chairs.
And I have to say that we are kind of in this thing with our 4-year-old where it's like some days preschool's amazing. It's the greatest thing she's ever done. And then some days she comes home and goes like, so-and-so was mean to me. And then the next day she goes back and then they're best friends. And then the next day she didn't like cutting with scissors because this, that, and the other. So it feels like every day they can come up with something,
Yeah. This is the building character portion of their life. We're building character. Get out and keep doing it. Just keep going.
Right. We just keep sending her back. Figure it out, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Al's right. It's like you can't solve every problem, and solving the problem, getting through that, it helps them to do it when the next bigger problem comes along.
I just feel bad that I did say to him I would say something to her. Because I said if you didn't have to carry a chair, would you want to go to class, to school, to whatever? And I know everyone's grimacing.
Just tell him you were lying. Just say Mom lied when she said that thing about talking to the teacher. I lied. Just tell him you were lying. It's fine. Or tell him you changed your mind.
This kid's in for a rude awakening with regards to us lying to him.
Oh my God. Are you talking about the Burbank Witch?
Oh my God.
I would like to know about that.
Witch.
Because you
The Burbank
tweeted
Witch.
about that or something, and now I'm like, hold up, what?
Yeah, Allison tweeted about this, but like, it's true. Before
So wait,
Elliot
my
was
tweet
born,
was, before children, I don't know if I want to do Santa Claus because I don't want to lie to my kids. Like me 5 minutes ago. Ooh, honey, what did the Burbank Witch leave you?
so like, it was a real conversation we had about Santa Claus.
I remember this conversation.
Yeah, not knowing
I
whether he wanted
remember
to do
this
Santa.
conversation. Yeah.
And then I don't know, a month ago, how did this whole thing start, Allison?
He's, I think in the ramp up to Halloween, he's gotten really into.
So at school, they did a potion thing. They pretended to be witches, and they mixed a potion. And then the next day,
there were cookies
the teachers
there.
had bought cookies and said, "Oh,
the witch left you.
The witch brought cookies for you."
Yeah.
And so then he came home and he was like, "I'm making potions," and so he made a potion. And then you came up with the idea of
he kept being disappointed. Man, this is not reflecting well on me. I can't remember how we made the leap from him making potions to us inventing the Burbank Witch, and then also, I hope he doesn't listen to this episode in the next 12 years. Me. He kept he kept wondering.
Do you think he's probably going to sit around listening to Allison Rosen is your new best friend over the next couple of years?
I fucking hope so. Well, no,
you think he's going to come to you one day and be like, "Mom, where are the archives of your podcasts?
Honestly,
I want to hang out and listen to them. I'm 9." He's probably never going to hear it. I think you can
they're
say
never going to want to listen to this.
They're never going to. I think you can say the truth right here, right now.
You know what would make
kids reach that tween age, and then like their first thought is like, more mom and dad. This is what I need.
I want to explore Mom's creative past.
Yeah.
What was her output like in the mid 2000s?
She never mentioned her feelings once the whole time I was growing up. I need to hear 3 hours a week of them.
I got to keep my voice down a little bit because they're in the other room.
Oh yeah,
it's like I don't want to spoil the truth about the Burbank Witch.
You better keep your voice down even more because they have good fresh hearing.
But here's the thing, like
why don't you? Okay, go ahead. Just be careful.
So
are they?
Because
hang on 1 second. Are they in the bath right now?
No.
They're right on the other side of the door?
Yes.
That makes me nervous about just say something in coded language and I will translate. This is nervous. Yes.
All right. Okay.
Call her Delilah.
Look at my balls. Delilah. There was no rules surrounding this. It's not a codified thing the way other things are.
There's no
this
songs
is just
about
something
it.
that sprung from the mind of Allison Rosen with no rules.
Wait a minute, you got to get literal again. You lost me.
I will explain. Okay.
Well, like Santa comes down a chimney or whatever. There's
once a year.
Once a year.
Right.
Tooth Fairy, $5 or whatever. There's no,
Yes.
Allison is in charge of that.
Right.
This is just who knows.
Right.
So you were worried about spinning lies to them and fables, and then went and
We're
made
well
one
beyond
up from
that,
scratch.
Jeff. We're well beyond worrying about
Oh
lies
yeah.
and fables.
We completely let it. I dispensed with. Well, so he's super into like witchcraft and spells and stuff. And there was one morning where Daniel's like, this is pretend, right? And he like looked up with these tears in his eyes. And I was like, Daniel, he doesn't need to learn that lesson right now. And then I don't know, somehow now we've invented the Burbank Witch.
So like, okay.
And so he leaves potions out and then she leaves little gifts for him. But then he was
hold on.
Okay. Just
on.
be careful.
So this went on for a couple nights, and then I was just like, we got to put the brakes on this.
On Delilah.
Like, this is growing out of control, Delilah. Like, because it's all falling on this guy.
What has 2 thumbs in is also the Burbank Witch, Daniel.
I mean,
Patreon.com/Allison Rosen to see Daniel pointing at himself.
Allison, can you explain, like, it was like cards.
Oh yeah, she leaves cards
with notes and like
notes to him,
and like
reminding him to be a good brother and a good friend.
And I'm trying to like lace it with like, be good to your brother, you know, remember to share, you know, trying to like put fucking. But it was at a certain point, I'm like, this is enough.
Daniel, this is like you writing one hilarious intro to the show 10 years ago.
Yeah, I'll never learn.
Now it's just
Jeff, I'll never learn.
Snowball.
I am the kid taking too much candy because no one's telling me no.
Jeff, do you have any idea?
Yeah, this is smash cut to your kids with the bowl, scooping the whole thing into their bag.
Jeff, like one time I was like, you know what? I can help you with Photoshop. And now my whole week is like, she needs art for this show and that show, and she needs a thing, and she needs Instagram stories versions and this and that. It's like,
are you kicking out multiple aspect ratios over there?
He is.
Dude, I'm doing YouTube. I'm doing Insta stories. I'm like a full. I'm like a what do you call it?
A graphics house.
Full service graphics house. Over here.
Recently, I decided I wanted to change the look of my stuff, and Daniel fully hooked me up.
Anyway, I'm going to unionize. So I was like, okay. So I left a thing, and it said, like a book, and it said, write down what you're grateful for every day in this book, and then the night before Halloween, I'll come back. So that gives us a month.
Oh my goodness!
All right.
Yeah, but no, we were. I see the eye rolling.
Put an end. And then
we felt like that was real good. No, we felt like that was real good. Who are you shushing?
You. And then she was going to go on vacation.
Oh yeah, the witch was.
And she's going to go bye-bye. And then that was not going to happen anymore. Until a week ago. He's upset about God knows what.
No, I was trying to give him a COVID test because he had a fever.
And Allison's in a panic and goes, "What? Maybe the Burbank Witch comes back tonight."
Shoot.
Just keep in mind, I was the one advocating for Santa Claus. Your turn, bitch. She was no. This is all. So anyway, now it's all spiraled way out of control. We've created a goth.
We created
Allison.
Yes.
I was looking at something you Instagrammed yesterday. And
did you say Instagrammed?
Instagrammed, yeah. And I was trying to think of, and I think I thought of a couple of your Real Housewife catchphrases.
Oh, yes. Okay, so I posted a photo. I was a pirate's wench, although everyone's like, I thought you might have been Rhoda from Rhoda, and I really do look more like her. So
you did look like Rhoda, actually.
I did. If anyone's watching Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, have you noticed that Jen Shaw, when she leans to the side, then she keeps leaning, like she's practically
the craziest pose anyone's ever done.
Yes, so I did that pose. Anyway,
Jen Shaw, is Jen Shaw
the one who's going to prison?
Oh, okay.
I don't watch Salt Lake City very often. That one I didn't like, actually.
We got into it.
It's not good, but that's why it's good.
I couldn't get into that one. Anyway, I think what I wrote down was, I may be your new best friend, but I've got 0 fucks to lend.
Oh, that's really good.
Oh,
that's so good.
You can use it if you want to.
Yeah.
I tried watching Salt Lake City. It sucks.
Wait.
All the drama felt fake to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I also there was something about the premise of it that felt really bogus to me. That the whole premise of that show felt bogus to me.
Do you not have another tagline though?
I wrote some other. I'm actually workshopping some other ones. I wanted to do one that was like, I may be your new best friend, but these diamonds aren't faux, or something like that. But I couldn't really nail the friend faux thing.
Oh, so I get it. Yeah.
It's usually if I might be in so and so and so and so, but I'm a so and so and so and so, and I couldn't get the opposite of new best friend or whatever.
Right.
I'm convinced. I'm convinced that the people that write those little tags are deliberately doing a bad job to goof on the women, because
there's every now and then there's a couple of them that are actually quite good. Every now and then there's I can't remember. There was a few from the last season of New York that I was like, oh, that's well written, actually. And then there's a lot of them where they go so far out of their way and they're really clunky. You know, they'll be like, I might have on a new pair of shoes, but these heels are not going to go over to your house. Like, they're just really crappy or whatever.
The Salt Lake City ones are insane. Who's the one blonde gal?
Whitney Rose.
Whitney's is like, oh yeah, Whitney Rose.
I may be a rose, but I'm not afraid of a little prick.
I'm not afraid to handle a little prick.
Or something like that.
Oh, what was that one that Al? What was that one that you liked?
Someday I'm gonna find someone who smears my lipstick, doesn't make my mascara run. You know who you are.
Oh my God! Someone put that into a.
That was from Atlanta, right?
And then like this season, Mary's is like, if you come after me, then I'm going to send Jesus after you. And it's like, is that a thing?
No.
Is that a thing you can do?
Is that the way it works?
Jesus? I didn't know you could just like send him after someone. Like,
but and also like, what does he do when he gets there?
Well, it's so
He's like, I love you. It's so good to see you.
I know.
You're the greatest cheek.
Right. He like hugs you. And it's just so bizarre. I love it. Anyway.
Yeah, I didn't like at the very beginning of Salt Lake City, like the whole premise of it was like, they're LDS, but like they do other stuff. It's crazy. And I was just like, it felt like somebody walked into the offices at Bravo and were like, we found these people in Salt Lake City and they're religious, but they also do other stuff. And it just felt like really stupid. The whole premise.
And none of them are religious.
Right. I don't think any of them are religious.
But the premise of it was just like, it felt really stupid. And they kept going back to that well over and over again. Like we were supposed to watch it home and be like, wait a minute. They believe in God. That's crazy that they bought a purse. I don't know. Like it just felt really dumb to me.
Well, one of them, Lisa Barlow, was Jewish, converted to Mormonism, but runs a tequila company. Daniel.
Tequila.
Yes.
Tequila.
That's how she says tequila.
Tequila. Hey, Jenna, now is there like a Salt Lake City? Do you know if there's like a Utah accent?
Oh, big time.
Is it like, because at first I was like, is she from Jersey or something? And then I realized, no, she's just from northern Utah. I think that's just an accent I hadn't heard before.
Tequila would be a Utah accent for
Would it really?
sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you want to say seal the deal.
Very lazy pronunciation in Utah.
They'd say seal the dill.
Seal
the dill.
Anything that's deal or
mountain.
It's lazy. Everything's kind of lazy. So mountain, spirit, like it's very like
Oh, that is how Whitney talks.
That is how she talks.
Yeah. It's a Utah accent.
Yeah.
Lisa.
And
it's very strong.
Deal, peel, pill, sill.
Just peel the potatoes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Wait, sorry, I just found the tagline that I love. It's from Atlanta, and it's Candy's "Don't check for me unless you got to check for me."
Ooh, that is good.
God,
Candy.
I love it so much.
She is
so much.
She is so loaded, though.
It's that one is so good. Oh, also Phaedra's only God can judge me, and he seems quite impressed.
Oh, that is really good.
Oh, Atlanta Housewives are amazing. I love them.
Oh, remember this Nene classic?
Nene.
I don't keep up with the Joneses. I am the Joneses.
That's good.
Oh, it's so good. So sometimes I think they're quite good, actually. I don't know. Anyway, sorry.
Do you remember what yours for me was, Daniel?
Something about sweatpants.
Some people say I'm like a pair of old sweatpants, but hey, who doesn't like to be comfortable?
Yeah.
Speaking of
Real Housewives of Burbank.
Pill. Who else would be in the Real Housewives of Burbank? Jenna, you'd have to come back for it.
Oh, I would for sure. But I actually think the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. In college, I pitched the Real Housewives of Utah County, which is south of Salt Lake. And I actually think they would be way more interesting. Because if you did do the religious ladies down in Utah County, it would be the most dramatic, insane, crazy show. I actually think they did it all wrong. Salt Lake, you've got the like edgy, like, ooh, we might be religious, but look at all this stuff we do, like Greg was saying. But if you actually went down to Utah County and and actually made a show about the LDS actually practicing Mormon women down there, it would be a wild ride. I feel like
that would be great. It would be a different show because this show is all about like, you know, the American aristocracy. Like this is about.
I think you would find that.
Really?
Because
this is
be
like
religious
watching
and
people in powdered wigs and, you know, courtiers just throwing parties and having nothing to do with their money.
I'm very much with Jen on this. That I would watch the real version.
Oh, I'd watch the shit out of that.
This just feels like the central casting version of what the show could be.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Who did you pitch this to?
Oh, just for fun in college. I was in a TV class where they were like, come up with something you'd like to do. And I did it. And I actually went to my friends in Utah County. A lot of them had already gotten married. Some of them were big. And I like interviewed them and I said like, these are the girls you should pick. And because there's a lot of drama down there.
Tons.
And
that sounds like a great show.
I'm telling you, I got a great grade on it, but Andy
feels like
Cohen,
a TLC show. Wait, what kind of drama?
Any kind. I mean, everything you'd see on the Real Housewives, except that they aren't drinking.
Pass. Get the fuck out of here. Right.
Okay. I need to tell you guys about something, and what I need to tell you about is the Pill Club. Although in a Utah accent, how would you make pill?
Pell.
The Pell Club. Mm-hmm. Life is stressful enough. Access to healthcare shouldn't be. Luckily, getting birth control is one less thing you have to worry about. With the Pill Club, you'll never have to make a trip to the doctor or wait in line at the pharmacy ever again. They provide access to care from the comfort of your home and delivery to your door in discreet packaging. I love this trend of things coming in the mail that you and just making your life so much more streamlined. So the Pill Club is a birth control subscription prescribed by a medical professional and delivered straight to your door for free. The Pill Club carries over 120 FDA-approved brands. Most brands of birth control are free with insurance or Medicaid. Otherwise, prices start as low as $7 per month without insurance. What's more, their licensed medical team is just a text away to give you the best reproductive health care. So skip the office visit and waiting in line at the pharmacy and join the club. Right now, when you go to thepillclub.com/Allison, the Pill Club is offering a $10 donation to bedsider.org for every Allison Rosen is your new best friend listener who becomes a patient. Your donation will help low-income individuals get access to birth control through bedsider.org. That's thepillclub.com/Allison to get your first birth control care package and donate to help more women in need of affordable birth control. Remember, thepillclub.com/Allison, thepillclub.com/Allison. You must use the link to make a donation. Okay. At the beginning of the show, I got so excited talking about these miniature puffy pancakes and also stumbling over my words that I didn't even tell you guys I'm on Patreon, patreon.com/Allison Rosen. Bonus episodes of The Friend Zone. Recently had Jenna on The Friend Zone and we heard all about the birth of her new baby. And you can, there's a level where you can text me and I'll text you back. You know, people in the texting level got a Halloween message from me. And Zoom parties. And you can watch the video of the Thursday show. You can submit carbohydrates for the Thursday guests. You can submit questions for the guests and tons of other fun stuff. If you sign up for a year, you get 2 months free. So that's 12 months for the price of 10. And also I'll give you a shout out on the show. So I would like to say hello and thank you to my new patrons. Let's do it.
Allison wants to say thank you to a couple of special people out there who signed up to be new patrons. Patreon.com/Allison Rosen.
Okay, listen, I don't know why it works like this. It's like when it rains, it pours. Like there'll be a week where there's just a couple, and then there's a week where there's a lot. And thankfully, this is a week where there's a lot. Hello and welcome to Rye. Hello and welcome to Jolie V. Hello and welcome to Aaron Holm, who converted to annual and increased his pledge. Hello and welcome to Janice Flax, who increased her annual subscription. Hello and welcome to A. Allen. Hello and welcome to the aforementioned Tyson Hellowell. Best name ever. Hello and welcome to Amanda Rose, to Megan Taylor, who signed up for an annual subscription to Bugs, also a cool name, annual. Carter Zetterquist. these names, annual, and then get this, Frank Otterbein 3. Hello and welcome to all of you. What an influx. What an influx of amazing names. Okay. I know Greg needs to go pretty soon. Where are we with time? Oh, we're actually doing okay. Let's just do a few quick just me or everyone's.
Sometimes I ponder on something I have thought or done. Is it just me or everyone?
Okay. Laura Craycraft says, just me or everyone, take a sip of water after taking a sip of hot coffee. Iced coffee or cold brew doesn't make me do this. Well, I mean, up until a week ago, no, because you guys know how I feel about water. However, I've recently been doing this crazy thing for me, which is I've pretty much stopped drinking my carbonated flavored waters, and I'm pretty much just drinking water now. I've never felt worse. Ooh. Water can suck a dick. All the things you're supposed to feel when you start drinking water, I feel energized. I don't know what else you're supposed to feel. I don't, none of it.
Allison, how many cups of coffee are you having a day right now?
Okay. I thought of you earlier as I made my 4th cup, but in my defense, I don't have one, but normally I just drink 2 nowadays.
Wow.
Tony, how many cups of coffee a day?
Like 1.5, but they're on the bigger side.
Is anyone here more than 3?
Well, today I'm 4, but normally I'm just 2.
Okay. Because at some point you were 8 or 9, right?
When we filmed our thing, you were like, I've never seen someone drink as much coffee as you, because I did have like 7 or 9 cups of that day.
Right. And in terms of this water thing, I don't know why you would do that. Like that, to me, that undercuts what's like a nice rich cup of coffee feels diluted in my mouth by drinking water. But I don't understand like that just me or everyone needs a second half. It needs a no because no. Like, you know?
Greg's getting
like a song?
notes.
Yeah, I was going to say, we got some notes.
I don't understand the question.
The question is, does anyone else also take a sip of water after a sip of a hot beverage?
So I don't drink coffee, but I do oftentimes have Diet Coke and water next to me because I feel like, and mine is completely different reasoning, I believe. I feel like if I chase my Diet Coke with some water, that I'm getting what I want and also rehydrating myself.
Well, that is like having a cup of water for every alcoholic beverage you have, which is a rule somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I can see the tweeter's point in that. I mean, I don't do it, but I think drinking a hot cup of coffee could make you feel thirsty. So, not me, but I see your point.
Okay.
I took it more as a temperature thing because they said they don't do it
right
when they have cold brew.
Oh. Again, this all roads point back to we need more information here. I think Tony could be on something that it's about that. I mean, I think that maybe this person's coffee is too hot.
Maybe.
That could be a very basic solution, is that your coffee is too hot. Because I don't drink. I mean, imagine just every sip of coffee going, fuck. And then getting like, it's so hot. Like nobody, I wouldn't drink coffee that way. Or even with like any hot beverage, wouldn't be like, can I have a hot tea and like a cup of ice or whatever? You just wait for the tea to cool down a little bit. I need more information. I have notes.
I don't think it's just her. Okay. Oh, here's one from me.
I do think it is just her, though. Does anyone disagree that it's just her?
I just think it's surprisingly not going to be just her. But
I think sometimes,
also not
Allison,
us.
do you not want the just me or everyone person to feel alone?
Oh, I never want them to feel alone. But
sometimes it is just you. Sometimes you have to admit it's just you do a weird thing and it's just your life.
Well, if there's anything I've learned from doing this segment for a long time, it is that no matter what the weirdest thing is, there's someone else that does it.
But maybe just not on the show.
Correct. All right. Here's one that I sent in. And how funny, I selected it too. I'll keep a tissue on my desk and use it all day. I realize it's so gross. I'll have like a wad of used tissues and I'll just keep using them. instead of like getting a fresh tissue.
No.
Yeah.
Wait,
This is how she got hand, foot, mouth
Yeah, exactly.
Gross.
in high school.
Allison, can I say something? And I don't want you to take it the wrong way. No, I'm not going to say it.
I pretty much just let my dog lick the inside of my mouth. So what? Now you got to say it.
But like, if I spent like a week living in a house with you, is there like maybe some weird snot, like fingernail hair stuff? Like I feel like
Every
We all
now
jack
and then
off in cups. They've been inside all of our vaginas as well. It's not a big deal.
I just want to not throw up.
every like couple of months when I'm just sitting around, a ball of hair and toenails and just will roll through the house. I was like
Tumble nails.
No, this I
Old
don't.
lady tumble nails over there.
I find
Daniel, can you close the window? Some of my hair and nail tumble balls are going to live.
Yeah.
I find snot to be gross. Actually, I say it as if I'm unusual. I know you guys all love to collect it. I find it to be pretty gross. I don't do anything weird like that. I don't like peel off a scab and then set it on my computer. I feel like I heard it. It's like you've chow in box, man. I don't do anything gross like that. However, do you know about
Oddly specific
the thing
task.
that Daniel put in our shower? This was one of my favorite sight gags ever. Daniel, do you want to tell the story?
It's a while ago. So in our shower, we have like a little ledge. It's like a glass wall, and then there's like a little ledge where the kind of tile is.
It's called a product shelf, I think.
Well,
I
it's
saw
not
that
quite.
on.
We
It's
also
not quite
have
wide
on
enough for that.
Flipping flops or whatever. It's called a product shelf.
We have a product
Allison-
shelf as well. This is just like a ledge.
So Allison will
Backsplash.
Allison will do the courtesy of getting the hair off the drain, but then
She puts it on the wall.
Fail
She
to
attaches
get
it. Yeah.
fail to take it the extra 3 steps to the trash,
Or
and
put
so
it
it'll
in the
just
toilet.
sit there on the ledge.
Yeah.
You should not put it in the toilet. I think it's bad.
So I printed up one of those museum tags. You see it in an art museum, and it said like Allison Rosen, and then parentheses her birth year, and then the name of it's like hair. What did I call it? Hair on ledge, human hair on ledge, and then materials.
Permanent loan from the head of Allison Rosen.
Yeah, and then I laminated it and I just stuck it underneath it.
Yeah, materials, hair, glass.
So that when she took the shower, because I wanted to dignify it. If I have to live with it, it might as well be
Art.
Oh my God,
Yes.
that is amazing. That's amazing. That story has never been told on this show before.
No.
I don't think it has.
That is
And when I didn't see it till near the end of my shower because I just wasn't like faced that way, and I was like in the shower doubling over laughing so hard. And it's been there for a couple years now.
I thought you'd take it away.
What'd you say?
That's
Still there. Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's great work. That's
What are you gonna
stellar
do?
work. That's stellar work.
Thank you. Yeah.
But circling back here, Allison, that's really disgusting. The tissues thing or whatever. Don't do that. That's super disgusting.
How do you? And like last night.
How do I?
Oh,
I
but
just
here's
reach
the
over and I
thing.
grab another Kleenex.
Here's
That's
the
how
thing.
I know everyone else. That's how I.
Or get a handkerchief.
Well, this is what I'm saying. How is that different than a handkerchief, though?
Thank
The
you.
handkerchiefs are also gross.
Yeah, they're also gross.
Yeah, that's not a great argument.
The only reason I ever wanted a handkerchief is because one time my grandfather said, I heard him say to another man, "It's for blowing, not for showing."
What does that mean? Tuck it in your
Like, don't put it in your pocket.
Yeah, it sort of was like, hey, this isn't like a pocket square or whatever. This
Yeah.
has boogers in it. Today at Vaughn's, that felt like a drop. Sometimes you ever say something and it feels like a drop. Today at Vaughn's, I had a really big snot thing in my nose, but I was wearing a mask, so I reached into my back pocket to grab what I thought was a Kleenex, but it was another mask. And I lifted up one mask and I blew my nose into the other mask. And then I pulled my mask back down. And then I crumpled that mask full of snot up and I put it in my pocket.
I can't believe that you snot shamed me and made me feel like I'm the disgusting one.
Yeah, I did it once and then I threw it away.
You threw
It's
the
not
mask
like
out.
I'm not going to reuse it tomorrow.
You
Yeah,
threw the
I did
mask
It's not
out?
like you put it on your desk.
So
Yeah, I threw the mask out. Like anything that's full of snot should go into the garbage. That's just me. not trying to preach that on it.
Like last night, my nose was running. And so I'm like, God damn, I don't have a tissue. And I reached, because I recently cleaned, and I reached into my purse and I was like, oh, thank God I'm disgusting, because there is a crumpled up tissue from God knows when in here. And I really need this right now. Jenna, do you have crumpled up tissues anywhere?
I don't, but
thank you for feeling bad about saying that.
Oh, man.
Validation denied. Girlfriend, we're all in this together. Do you have 3 quarts of snot in your bag? Oh, shit.
No, but we were also.
Ladies, come on.
But see, I'm
Hang on to those boogers.
No. I'm even worse, because if I have a cold, I won't even get a box of tissues out. I'll just grab the closest roll of toilet paper and use toilet paper, because what's the difference?
That's not gross.
Okay. First of all, that's correct. What is the difference? Second of all, but Jenna, I didn't hear you at the end of that say, and just keep reusing the same square over and over again.
No, I don't. I get a new square. Yeah.
Look, you guys.
Oh yeah, I know because I've definitely found those in the studio before.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
I believed you.
I just have a bunch of tampons. Yeah, this one has lipstick and mascara on it. You guys, I know we gotta wrap this up. We didn't hear any of our Greg drops, and we heard 1,000 Greg drops.
Jesus Christ, I was going to say.
None of those were drops.
That's not what I mean. We had prepared a few, because Greg was on the Monday show recently to promote Close to Death, his new podcast, and then now he's here, and so Tony had made a few sound things, which Greg's lack of response
Tony,
to
you
them.
made sound things?
He made some. Tony,
request.
the way you were like, look how excited he is, was so funny. So let's just hear them, and then let's put this guy to bed.
Oh yeah, they were such a hit last time. We got to bring these back.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah, I mean that. Here we go.
Because it's a Greg Hellernato. But then wait, what kind of week are we having?
We're having one heller of a week.
It's so stupid. I love it. Okay, you guys, this could not have been more fun. It was good for my soul. I guess I will start being less disgusting with my Kleenexes. Greg, where might we find you? What should we be on the lookout for?
Oh, I'm going to plug something.
Yeah.
Boner sandwich.
Boner sandwich, wherever you get podcasts.
Wherever finer boner sandwiches are sold.
I go around and I interview people who eat sandwiches that have boners in them. And it's on Patreon and Stitcher.
That's cool, bro. That's the way shit goes down.
And Stitcher.
Oh, am I still talking?
Don't you want to plug your
yeah.
podcast?
Sorry. Close to Death, the podcast that I'm on is on.
Do you want me to do it for you?
Yeah, please.
So it's this really cool
It's very good.
It's a really well done podcast. There's 6 episodes. Greg is on the first and the last, and each one deals with some aspect of death. And so Greg wrote his own obituary with the help of a famed obituary writer, and he staged his own funeral
with a woman who is a death doula.
With a death doula.
Wow.
There's plenty.
I'm very bad at plugging myself.
Yeah. Well, there's plenty. It's really good. It's listenable. As I said on the Monday show, it's really listenable. And then Greg took great offense to that. Oh,
I think we can all agree that one of the more higher accolades you can get is listenable. You always want your movie to come out and the critics are like, very watchable.
Watchable. Yeah.
I could have watched it the whole time. I kept watching it.
It was hardly objectionable.
I just kept looking at it until it was over.
It's good.
Kept going.
Get it wherever you find podcasts, and you can follow Greg at Dong Attack. The very dignified Dong Attack.
By the way, today on Twitter, somebody was writing the producers of Close to Death, and they were like, where can we find Greg? And the producers, who were these really dignified documentarians or whatever, had to write, he's at Dog Attack. And I was like, oh, my life mission, it just keeps getting accomplished.
Greg, if you need to go, you're welcome to hop off if your baby's having a meltdown. I kind of do need
to go, but I want to hear Jenna and Al say goodbye.
Okay,
Aww.
then you also have to hear me say goodbye. You guys, no,
wait,
you know what?
Before them?
Usually,
before you.
Usually, I would have gone. I would have said it before you as part of the roundup. But you know what?
Sorry.
I'm not gonna do it. Jenna and Al. I mean, I am gonna do it, but I'm gonna let them go first. Jenna and Al, it's so nice having you guys on the show. Tell everyone where they can find you.
It's been amazing to see you all and be here. You can find us. Well, you can find me on social media at Jenna Kim Jones. You might find Al. He occasionally shows up there. It's twice a year at the hashtag Al. Yeah. But mostly just go to at Jenna Kim Jones if you want to know what's going on with him. And we have a podcast. It's called Couple Friends. It's silly. It's weird. You should listen to it. That is at everywhere podcasts are available. Couple Friends Podcast.
What about you, Al?
I am at the hashtag Al sometimes.
Very rarely.
I make biannual social media posts. So tune in 2022. That's the year I will post. Speak it, dog.
I'm realizing we didn't even talk about how we now have the same air fryer you do. And because when you recommended it, you're like, I can't wait for you to burn the foods you love. And now I've done it. So
that is the truth.
That thing cooks
it's insane.
So fast.
Cinnamon rolls in there, walked out of the room, came back to briquettes.
Just rocks. Yeah. You're like, what's happening? The recipe said 22 minutes. It's been 7.
Yeah. Yes. You can't leave it unattended.
No.
We'll get into that more. You guys have to come back. We'll talk about that more.
Deal.
Jeff, what about you?
I have a new podcast. This is how I spent my COVID vacation, developing a new podcast called Bad Dates. Guess what it's about?
I'm going to guess.
People going on bad dates. Exactly. We actually do reference that in the opening theme song.
You have to, of course.
Yeah.
That was a hack joke, but I had to make it. Someone had to
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Bad Dates, and the website is thebaddateshow.com, on Twitter at The Bad Dates Show. And so we have 3 episodes out. First one is with Arden Marine, friend of the show.
Oh, very funny.
Very funny. And she tells a tale of trying to lose her virginity and literally getting hung up on a fence trying to do so.
Oh, my God.
You figure it out. We have Brian Safi, the hilarious Brian Safi.
I love
on
him.
There. He's so great, telling about a nightmare run-in with an ex. And then, Greg, you'll like this. We had Steve Heitner, who was Kenny Bania on Seinfeld. He took a hot date to a Dodgers game, and she tried to bring in a gun.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Yeah, so
not allowed.
Apparently not allowed,
yeah.
And she was not happy about that, and it only got worse from there. So we do only one episode every other week, so it's not going to interrupt your consumption of the Allison Rosen podcast.
Thank you.
But it's available wherever finer podcasts are found. There are unfortunately other podcasts with similar sounding names, so if you search for Bad Dates, Rob Cohen, he's the host, super funny guy, and you should be able to find it.
Wonderful. Tony, what about you?
Twitter and Instagram at
Tony Thaxton.
And my podcast, Bizarre Albums, every Tuesday. And suddenly that Motion City soundtrack tour is less than 2 months away.
Oh,
so
wow.
get your tickets if you have not gotten those.
Do you guys know how hard it is for me to wait for you guys to all do your plugs before I do mine? This is
so hard.
You have no
I would
idea.
guess it's pretty hard. Just knowing you, I would guess it's very hard.
I'm gonna draw mine out.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, you know what? I think this might be a good time for me. I think this is the most insulting time for me to leave right now. Is that correct?
You know what? Fuck it. I should be able to say whatever I want. And if I hurt someone's feelings, fuck them.
Hey, okay, so I'm going to leave right now.
Okay.
How do you feel about that before you plug anything else?
Well, you're leaving before Daniel does his plug, so I feel fine.
Daniel, go ahead.
Oh, God damn it.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Well, I would invite everybody to come become a member on my virtual reality program, Quantsverse, but I'm the only member, and it's just the bathroom.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye. Send your file if you're able to save it.
I just saved it. It worked.
Oh, perfect. Okay, bye.
Al, Jenna, I miss you. Bye.
Miss you. Bye.
Bye.
Good luck.
This has been so much fun, you guys. It was just like
Thank you
old
so
times.
much. I know. It's like it makes my heart hurt a little bit.
Right?
I know. Same. We just have to do it more
I
often.
miss you guys.
It's funny because I have so much to ask you about, but the show is just so. It'd be like actual real conversation, but then we're gonna hang up and never talk to you again.
What do you want to ask them about?
I want to ask him about the house, and I want to ask him about the baby, and
You guys got to come out and visit. Just
my
hop on that
goodness.
airplane.
Come on out.
No,
Plenty of
I
room.
need to get some of your lake life.
Yeah.
Listen, everyone, if you like what you're hearing, please keep those nice comments on Apple Podcasts coming. It helps out the show, helps people find the show. 5 stars, please. We read them on the show. In fact, I should have done one on this show. So even more to get to next time. Follow me on social media at Allison Rosen on Twitter and Instagram. And I have some Amazon lists going. I'm an Amazon influencer. You can go shop and you can see like makeup I recommend and kid stuff and Daniel stuff and house stuff, podcasting equipment, all that stuff. Go to amazon.com/shop/Allison Rosen, amazon.com/shop/Allison Rosen. And again, I already mentioned Patreon. I feel like I missed someone, but I didn't. You guys, thank you so much for being on the show. Listeners, thank you for listening. You matter. I love you. Goodbye.
Hey, do you know about the Allison Rosen show? We had a good time, but now we gotta go. Yeah, Allison Rosen